develop our feet as weapons. We strike with the toes, we strike with the outside edge of the foot, the ball of the foot, the heel. We strike with the inside edge of the foot, using for sweeps. We stomp down, and we strike with the sole of the foot, coming across with pressing. So the feet are vital as weapons and defense.
I'm going to interrupt you right there because I was just going to remind our viewers that they can call in with questions or comments, and we have a call. A little too much feedback. Okay, we have a caller. You go ahead with your question. You'll be heard on the air. Answer over the air also. Go ahead, please. Oh, we're not going to be able to see the question here. Can you relay it to me, Tim, or did we lose the caller? Try once more. Go ahead with your question.
How much would it be for a class?
Oh, how much do the classes cost? Is that a question? How much do the classes cost?
Oh,
okay.
It's $50 a month. We don't have contracts or anything, and it's better if you come along and observe a class or two and see what it's like. We don't take anyone younger than 14 because we don't believe that a person has the literacy to understand what we're trying to teach at this level. This isn't one of the schools that takes in young people. This is for adults, people of high school age type of it. So.
And how long would it take them to, let's say, get to the point where Doug is?
Well, if, as on the dream sheet that I gave you, the dream sheet is a list of requirements that you need. It would take about between 1.5 years and 2 years to become a brown belt.
Mm-hmm. And there are all the different ranks. We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, well, the belt system really was introduced to karate in 1936. It came along very late. It was the Funakoshi adopted Jigoro Kano's belt system, which is Jigoro Kano who developed judo at the end of the 19th century. And he started with just the black belt and the white belt, and then later on introduced the brown belt and then a green belt. Of course, a lot of schools have a whole rainbow of colors, but we just have 4. We have a white belt, a green belt, a brown belt, and a black belt.
So are there other black belts in your school besides you?
No, just one that's going to be testing tomorrow night. My wife is a black belt, but she no longer studies. Mm-hmm. She got her black belt and decided that she wanted to get into equestrian work. So we bought a horse. That's why we're working on the barn. I was mentioning the barn earlier.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to let them go back to their demonstration, but if you do have a question or a comment, feel free to call, and as soon as they finish one demonstration, we'll put your question through. So go right ahead. Okay, well,
just a couple more techniques that I wanted to show you out of that form. Unfortunately, there are so many different applications of everything that I try and actually stuff too much in here. But the movement that I did before, where I came and grabbed here. Okay. We'll show you that piecemeal. Now, if Doug were to come in and attack me with this side here, okay, block, you grab. Now, if I were to kick at him and he were to grab my foot, okay, now here, what do? I am, what, helpless? No, what I do is I extend my foot and tear it out of his grasp. So what I'm doing here is kicking, getting caught, pressing forward, and carrying the leg out. So this is a kata, a very advanced form so that if you're actually in the fight, to be able to get out of a situation if you find yourself trapped.
But if the two of you know the same techniques, what's to determine who's going to win?
Well, you win by understanding the technique. We would never see, there is no competition in the dojo. If we have
Let's
any
say
type
you
of
didn't
sparring,
confront someone on the street or what have you, and you both happen to have this knowledge. What's the determining factor?
the determining factor is to seize the day, to get in on the opponent and eliminate him. And if you die, so what? You're going to die anyway.
Okay.
No, but it sounds cavalier, but really, as a warrior, what else is there? You know, there is life and there is death. There can be no life without death. There can be no death without life. All right? Now, when you're into a confrontation, you can't think about what you're going to do. All right? You have to move faster than thought itself. So the techniques that I did here earlier, okay, are actually in me. I am the art. So therefore, whatever happens, happens. I can't predict what my opponent is going to do. Right? In a situation, if you know your enemy and you know yourself, in 100 confrontations, you will prevail. If I know myself, but I don't know my enemy, then my chances are 50-50. If I don't know my enemy and I don't know myself, in 100 confrontations, I am always in peril. So by studying at the dojo, I get to know myself anyway. And I get to know human nature, dealing with other people. So I can avoid confrontation simply by becoming humble and benevolent towards others. I will never have confrontations, therefore I am at peace with the world. But
really good.
it is a constant battle, okay? I am at battle with myself, because if I become too relaxed with myself, then I leave an opening for someone to get in on me, to hurt my feelings. I lose my temper. That's no good. You have to stay relaxed, stay calm, and handle every situation. Like anybody that's been a parent knows what I'm seeing when your son or your daughter gives you a hard time. It's easy to lose your temper, but you have to, especially in a karate household like I have, my wife and I and my son. Okay, we have to be really at peace with one another, because if things start flying, somebody's going to get really hurt. So we try and keep things, and we have a very harmonious household, luckily. Because I think it is probably because of karate. Now, another technique, it does come in with a right punch, okay? Just, I guess, middle level, okay? Okay, now this one here, I am sidestepping, deflecting the punch to the side, and taking out his ribs. Okay, this is this motion in the kata. You're bringing your hand, deflecting the arm up, coming underneath with your punch, and striking. Okay. I advise, no, please don't try this at home. Okay, it takes